OK K.O. Let's Play Heroes on the Xbox One. This is part of a disc, a physical disc called the Steven Universe Save the Light 2 games in 1 combo with OK K.O. Let's Play Heroes. So both of these games are being included on the same disc. I was able to install this game without requiring an internet connection, but this game I believe is from 2019, so I do not know if it required a dashboard update of any kind. This is the same dashboard update that I used to install Kingdom Hearts 3 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so I don't know what the requirements are here. But I am installing this game on a disc. This game was generously provided by the Carroll County Public Library System of Maryland, but unfortunately, 3 of the other games that I got recently do not run. Do not install without a dashboard update. Team Sonic Racing is one of them, so I might need a dashboard update for that. I got a Plague's Tale Innocence. That will not install. And I'm back here inside the... I probably shouldn't even be here. Let me not waste time. Punch out of work. I basically just started the game. That's Carol, obviously. That's Mom's. That's his mom's. Let's get back into the place. This game is another one of those Paper Mario looking, South Park looking video games. Kind of like Steven Universe, but this is apparently something of a... I guess it's kind of like Paper Mario with, I don't want to say it's Street Fighter 2-like combat. It's actually a 2D brawler in terms of the battle sequences. There's a lot of running around basically doing dialogue sequences like this. There's a lot of story, and when you enter into a combat sequence, it's not random, it's basically narratively based so far. You end up in these little 2D arenas, like in the Astro Boy GBA game, Double Dragon 2 and the 2D parts. Now, no one's heard of Princess Crown. I played that on the PSP. It was a Japanese-only game. These were 2D games where the combat was basically a brawler. Although in Princess Crown, it was Street Fighter 2 based. This is actually more like a traditional brawler. Like the Super NES X-Men games, I guess you could say. Punch out of work. Let me talk to Mr. Gar. Actually, I was supposed to start over, but we'll just go back to where we were. Because there's really not much to say. There's a lot of story here, and unfortunately, not a lot of combat. And the combat that is here is really kind of button mashy and spazzy, so it's fluid enough, but unfortunately, it's really simplistic. And I'm not really wild about that. Can I start over? Because I can't start, which is fine enough to start over. So I'll show you what's going on in the binder, because I guess the big problem that I have with this game is the killer to filler ratio. It's extremely low. The combat is very limited, and the storytelling sequences are pretty long. So there's not, and maybe there are some OK K.O. fans I wasn't aware of, because I mean, obviously Steven Universe had a massive fan base. This game is apparently based on, this show is apparently based on a creator from the Maryland area, the Columbia, Maryland area, I believe it was. And his deal was that apparently he worked on Adventure Time, and he ended up getting a pitch for this show, and it worked. It's sort of Pokemon meets, not Teen Titans Go, it's Pokemon meets The Incredibles, I guess. Well, if you think about it, it's basically Pokemon with superheroes. Which makes sense. I mean, if I were pitching a show like that, I would buy it too. How do I restart? I probably can't even restart the game. Yeah, I can't restart the game. That's fine. We'll just play it normally. Okay, so let me at least go through the binder here to explain this. As you play through the game, you meet certain characters, you collect their cards. As you achieve certain goals, namely talking to them, completing missions for them, their level rises. Eventually, at some point when the level on these cards rises completely, they level up, and you're allowed to activate their wowie-zowie skills. You see right here, all these characters are kind of half grayed out a little bit. Well, this character right here, Rad, I completed a quest mission for him already. And by completing that quest, I unlocked his Powie-Zowie, which means I'm allowed to bring him over from this page on the binder over to here. So I can now use him in a fight. He has sort of a special ability that can be charged up, like an ultimate attack in the Street Fighter 2 sequels, basically. SNK games did that too. As you fight, you build up a special attack meter, which you can use to unleash when the meter is full. But this game is so button mashy in terms of the combat anyway, that basically all you're just doing is like, you know, like in Kingdom Hearts, all you're doing is just mashing on the button for about a minute, and you charge up an attack, and you can unleash it before the enemy dies. And if the enemy isn't dead, then you'll pretty much just take off a bunch of damage. So, I told you there's their fitness dojo. His mom's is in there. Let's talk to this dude. Colorful power cards. Right. Yeah, the dialogue here isn't great. Some of the character designs are somewhat interesting. I'm not going to get into a whole conversation about the whole Cal art style nonsense. This is not that kind of channel. You don't traffic in that kind of facile animation criticism, to be honest with you. As hard as that is to believe sometimes based on the stuff I'm saying extemporaneously. Yeah, that's apparently one of my friends. Is she listed here? I forgot her name. Yeah, she's not listed here, which is kind of disappointing. Here are my cool moves. X button, standard attack. Up plus X is an uppercut. Down plus X is a sweep. Makes sense. Jump and down X. It's like you jump, then you press down X. It's like a heel kick in Street Fighter 2. Chun-Li's heel kick. So when you're in the air, you hold down, press X for a downward attack. You crouch and press A for a dodge roll. You jump and press A in air for a double jump, which is an aerial dodge. And if you spam all that, you'll get past most enemies early in the game. But like I said, there aren't that many fights here, so it's kind of hard to get excited about that stuff. You can't really go anywhere at this point in the game because it's kind of cordoned you off to the small little area. Saving on assets, of course, but also limiting your exploration, as you would expect. Here's one of the first characters I meet, Enid. Her voice is actually kind of cool. She's pretty kind of meh. She's basically Daria, I guess. She's like, whatever. That's her bit. That's her trope. And OK K.O. is a bit too chipper. He's okay, but he may be a bit too chipper. He's like, he likes taking orders from people like Enid and his boss. Like, he really loves his boss. Which is kind of creepy. And, well, it's not that creepy, but. And of course, this guy right here who we just helped. Rad. He really loves his van. He has a van that he just saved. In fact, where is that van? It's right outside, isn't it? Yeah, this Rad van. He loves the Rad van. The first mission was about me rescuing this van from some vandals. So I had to sneak around like Solid Snake inside a trash can and rescue this van. If I can restart the game again, I will, but I'm not going to worry about that now. We're basically just calling this a research stream anyway. Muncher. Oh, here's the easily scared, allergic broccoli kid, apparently. Yeah, he's allergic to stuff. Again, as I mentioned earlier, it's sort of like a Pokemon meets superheroes thing. So instead of collecting Pokemon, you collect cards based on the superhero characters who are in this game. So I already mentioned Carol, his mom's. You'll see, I'll show you Mr. Gar again later. We already met Enid over there and over by the register. Let's go to the back. That's where Gar is. I want to say that this Gar character, this topless Gar character right here, who has a necktie there over his buff bod, I think he's a reference to Mike Hagar from Final Fight. I'm not sure. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. That's a bit. I mean, everyone's flexing in this game. I mean, Rad flexes, Gar flexes, Carol flexes. It's a bit. But these are superheroes, so I guess that kind of makes sense. I guess in that sense, it's kind of like the Ripping Friend series that John Christopher Lucy did back in the day. Spumco and those guys did back in the, what is it, early 2000s? Yeah. We were younger then. We didn't know things. How much? I have no money, so I can't buy any more cards. But I did buy, what did I buy when I was down here? I'm trying to remember what I bought. I think I did an autosave. There was an icon on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen just there. That might have been an autosave. I don't remember buying anything. Yeah, I don't remember what I bought anymore. Not that it matters at this point. Oh, yeah, he's wearing a fox. Like I said, some of the character designs are okay, they seem reasonably imaginative, but again, this whole scalable vector graphics style they got going on here, it is also somewhat limited. It's also mentioned. It's also seen on the show, obviously. It's not to my taste, obviously. You know, it's sort of a hyper stylized version of Steven Universe. That's pretty hyper stylized as is. But obviously it's not hyper stylized in the, you know, realistic anime way. It's hyper stylized in the soft, squishy, big-eyed, super deformed, two heads high way. So if you're into that, I mean, great. But like I said, it's not really to my taste. So I'll be the first to admit that.
Let go of all negative thought.
But there was some pretty good art that I saw during the initial splash screen when you first start the game up. That's actually very good. So in the show's, in the art's defense, when the show has its A game on, the art looks pretty good. You can probably, there's a lot of potential in the art here. Because that splash screen that I mentioned looked a lot like Mega Man. It looked like a Mega Man artist drew the characters here. So I wouldn't be surprised if the artist behind the show developed these characters to look like Mega Man characters intentionally. I was supposed to punch in. In fact, let me punch in. I'm just rambling here. Let's punch in here. Punch out of work. Yeah, press this button.
No! Jeez!
That always happens every time you punch in. Okay. Can't do anything here. So when I was playing Steven Universe, there was a GameCube. So this looks like a Genesis, actually. At least the controller looks like a Genesis a little bit. A 6-button Genesis controller. That looks like it might be a PC. Yeah, playing on a flat screen TV, honestly. Yeah, well, maybe it's a TurboGrafx 16, but not with 6 buttons, obviously. Actually, I think Hudson might have released a 6-button controller for that thing. Because Street Fighter 2 came out for that console. I can't imagine playing that game with 2 buttons. How the heck do you play Street Fighter 2 with 2 buttons? Yeah, the, what is it? The TurboGrafx Mini is supposed to be coming out later this year. I'm curious how that's going to turn out.
I'm impressed,
K.O. Ninja Spirit apparently is on that thing. That might be worth it. I got 6 Technos. Say hi to your mom. Apparently Gar is flustered by Carol, his mother. As are most people, I would imagine, if they met her. See, like I said, everyone's flexing on the show. They're all like He-Man, Masters of the Universe characters from the Filmation days. King Randor was flexing in that show. That's the kind of show that was. I tend to believe that's what Ripping Friends was doing. It's like a Joseph Loeb comic, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Bruce Timm who said, yeah, Joseph Loeb comics are like, yeah, all the characters have muscles on top of muscles. It's like, yes, mashed potato musculature, basically. It's a bit. Hey, there you are.
Such a sweet young boy.
What, no candy? You suck, lady. There's nothing else going on here, is there? Nope, can't go over here. See? Girl's flexing, too. This kind of universe. Everyone's buff.
Mommy!
Like I said, imagine how this show would look with, you know, Filmation character designs. Or maybe not even Filmation, just some, you know, Tom Todoranowitz Gang of Six character designs. Like, imagine if everyone looked like a character from Biker Mice from Mars Season 1. Barb Arkwright and them. Yeah, that was always weird, right? It's like, yeah, let's do a show about, you know, anthropomorphic mice from Mars. Let's just make everyone super buff. I mean, it's like, okay, it's inappropriate. Although, at the time, that was what? Post-Captain Planet? It was after X-Men, but it was before, like, it was before the SVG craze. Like, before, you know, Tartovsky and them. Well, although it did come out around the same time as Dexter's Laboratory, but I think by the mid-90s, Nickelodeon was telling them, yeah, you know, we got some new ways of drawing animated series for kids that are a lot less cumbersome, a lot less expensive, I guess. So let's be fair. I mean, even Bruce Timm was animating stuff with more simplified character designs as he went. Like the Batman the Animated Series, when it first started, the character designs were way more detailed than they were when it moved to WB. By the time the show was on the kids' WB, I mean, they really stripped that show down. They made the character designs a lot more efficient, I would argue. You know, less line dense, I guess you could call it. Less density in the lines. So they were drawing basically outlines of characters, which was good enough. Though to be honest, I think the female characters had more detailed eyes than the male characters, as I recall. Go back and check. But Bruce Timm, Glenn Murakami designs are always kind of interesting in that sense. Because as they evolved and they got more stylized, it became pretty obvious that they said, look, we can make the characters more flexible on a lower budget if we simplify the character designs. And it worked. I mean, by the time the Kids WB show came out, I think they got a really good crop of Korean animators helping them out. I think it was what, Mr. Kim and them, I want to say. The Superman show only really looked good when TMS animated it, to be honest with you. But the Batman show actually looked pretty good all the time on the Kids WB anyway. You know, Coco, Dong Yang, and TMS all were doing a pretty good job on that show by the time it ended. I mean, obviously the TMS stuff looked amazing, but it was one of those things where no matter what the animation, no matter what the art style was, TMS was going to kill it. But I thought that by the time, you know, that show was... I think they might have limited the staff to a hand-picked crew of animators over in Korea, I'm not sure. But obviously the Batman show was looking really good by the last couple of seasons. So that was definitely something I liked. But I'm rambling like this because obviously this was part of the evolution away from the heavy-duty, heavily shadowed comic book look with lots of high detail to this.
Sandy! I love
And this is obviously a more stylized version of the animated series. Like I said, lots more SVG stuff. Scalable vector graphics. I mean, you can do lots of stuff with that. But
Are you mad at me, Danny?
on this game, they're basically just using the scalable vector graphics for, you know, very, very simplistic caricatures, which is okay, I guess. Like I said,
I'm mad that I can't hack my
it's
own
not really
eye
to my
and
taste,
see what
but
my
it seems to be
Powie
okay.
Zowie is.
Now, I'm curious to see how this
On the
art
part
style
of the
looks with an
Power
A
Card
team of
Company.
animators
Or
working on it.
maybe it's an
Because like I said, if they do it right, it could be
Maybe
like
they knew
a
Denny
great
would try to
representation of
hack
the
Denny,
Mega Man
so you have to do
art
it the
style.
old-fashioned way.
The Mega Man video
Ooh,
games,
can I
obviously. Because
help?
I mean, some of us remember the old
Any
animated
other
series
options?
back in the
Here,
mid-90s. That was
take my
terrible.
card.
But it had a somewhat decent art
So,
style.
like,
And
what
they
do
had
you
some
like?
not awful
You
Japanese
know,
animation
besides
occasionally.
hacking stuff.
And of course, everyone remembers the opening. If you saw the opening, you never
Gifts.
forgot it. Because
Gifts?
that was obviously
Do you not
A-level
know what a
stuff.
GIF is,
That was
K.O.?
A-team stuff. But obviously, you weren't going to
like
animate the entire show like that.
Gifts. Duh.
In fact, if you just ignore the opening,
Maybe it will
it's...
unlock
If
my
you just
Powie
ignore the
Zowie.
opening, the Mega Man series was never a good-looking show, really. It was never a well-animated show, I would argue. There might be a supercut of like 2 or 3 minutes that didn't suck, but most of the show is pretty forgettable as far as the actual animation during the show, outside of the opening theme. Well, that thought, kid.
Yeah. Duh.
Mommy, what's a GIF? It's that stuff you see on the internet with her picture on it you shouldn't be watching. Pro tip, y'all. Never do an image search on a female cartoon character. I'm serious. So if you're looking for GIFs of Carol, don't. Oh, where am I going? I'm going to the dojo, right? See, I get the Dendy. That's her name, Dendy. His robot friend. Like Vicky from Small Wonder, if you remember that live-action show. With the superhuman maid. The superhuman robot maid that was not Japanese. Ask Mommy what a GIF is. So you're starting to see the gameplay loop here, right? You're just wandering around, looking for the next mission trigger, visiting the same areas over and over again. The first half hour of this game is exactly like this.
Did you tie your
Although
headband to
I haven't had a
again?
fight yet.
No,
We'll get to one by the end of this video.
Denny
We have
says
got
she
about
likes
40
gifts,
minutes
so I
left
need to get her one, but I don't
in
even
my
know what they are.
recording, but we'll see how it goes.
I think you must have misheard her, honey. She must have said gift. Why don't you get her a nice gift from the bodega?
I swear she said gifts. Oh, sorry for swearing, Mommy.
No, that's not.
I'll get her a gift from the bodega.
Yeah. This show might be wholesome. I don't know. I'm curious to know if it is. But this game might be a bit too wholesome. And by wholesome, I mean like Steven Universe level wholesome, which is like, you know, like the big hug box. But people have complained the animation's, you know, a bit too harsh and a bit too harsh for kids and antisocial. Well, this and Steven Universe together might be two of the most wholesome animated IPs in the last 2 decades. And as a fan of Jane and the Dragon, I'm not opposed to wholesome shows. I watched a lot of Cubo. I used to watch a lot of Cubo back in the day, so that was a raison d'etre, basically. It was wholesome shows. You can dump your 10-year-old in front of the TV and they won't be exposed to anything that's too challenging for them, I guess. But on a related note, here's the fights. I'm just gonna mash on the buttons. I'll press up and X occasionally to launch them like that, and once they're launched, I'll just mash on the attack button some more. Again, while I'm jumping in the air, I can hold down and press X to do the butt stomp on them. Oh, look out. When can I do my special attack? I think I can do it now. Why? Nope, can't do my special attack yet. It's fine, I guess. Did I do a thing? Jump. I can do the air combo once I get when I get him in the air. I can do the air combo like that. Okay. Look out for the buzzsaws. And eventually, before you finish off your combo, throw an uppercut in there. Whoops. Let me take out these guys. Let me take out these guys. They got rockets. They're driving me nuts. Press the Y button for a special attack. I don't know if that did anything. I didn't think I aimed it properly. Look out, look out. I'm not taking way more damage than I expected. Okay, I'm gonna have to dodge. Now the combat's getting a bit harder. There's that. Yeah, that was what was her name? Shannon. That blonde robot apparently is Shannon. Let go! Get through some dodge rules here. So I got a crouch punch, right? Yeah, like that. Look out! Yeah, that was coming too. Did I get him? Yeah, I got him. So I needed a bit more strategy that time because they're spitting out missiles. American Technos? Okay, so where's Dendy's? Probably inside the shop. Let me check. Guess you probably got to see a fight in this video. But again, I was just mashing on the attack button and occasionally pressing up and X to launch the enemies.
Here you go, Dendy. A gift. Hope you like it.
What is the gift for? It is not my date of birth, nor is it a special holiday where gifts are appropriate.
But you said you like gifts.
I said GIFs. You know, like of people falling down and getting hurt over and over. You don't know what gifts are, do you?
Of course I do. I just thought, you might like a surprise.
It's very sweet of you, but you probably should have just asked her what she meant.
I don't actually know. Maybe it's a kitten.
Michaela. It is not a kitten.
You can do this, K.O.
Well, another fight's coming up. So this load screen is actually kind of amusing. Like I said, the art style is not really worth it. Oh well. Like I said, it'll do, I guess. You know, some people react very strongly to art that looks like this. I'm I'm okay. I can get past it. I play NES games for crying out loud. I'm not gonna be bothered by art styles and games that I play these days. I mean, for me, everything would look like Legend of Korra. That's not how things work these days. If I crapped money and breathed coins, I would absolutely make everything look like Korra. That's how this business works. If I could find a cheap way to make shows that look really good, I would do it. And everyone would do it. People with way more money and time would do it. You know how it is. Maybe you can start doing a Kickstarter. Get that new SWAT Cats animated series made on a really low budget. I commissioned a couple of Mook guys, I guess. A couple of Mook animators from Japan. Bring them out of retirement. If you can tear them away from the other jobs they're doing. Working on 5 different shows at the same time, I guess.
Hello, K.O.
What if I said no? Let's see. But if I complete Dendy's quest, I think my that dark gray level is gonna go full gray. So I'll be able to use her Powie Zowie eventually. Okay, I already asked her what a GIF was.
Hello, K.O.
Guess I gotta ask somebody else. Cause I asked her what it was and they didn't give me an answer. I mean, thanks. Am I supposed to find it for you? Is someone gonna give it to me? What's he yammering about? Look at this. What does he want? No. You're gonna give me one? I guess I can. That's where I can buy one. So I can go back to that vending machine and use some of my technos to buy them right here. I got like, how many tech? I got 6. So I need 10 to buy crap. Oh well. Never mind. So what am I doing while I'm here?
K.O.
We've already said that. Well, I did, and she didn't tell me anything. So what am I supposed to do now? Into another fight?
Sup, K.O.
Do you know what a
Oh,
GIF
okay.
is? And no, I don't mean gift with a T.
Sure. They're looping videos on the internet. Usually of people falling down and getting hurt. They rule. Why?
I'm trying to unlock Dendy's Powie Zowie. And she likes them, so I need to figure out how to give her one.
iFrame just got the new GIF and a GIF camera. It makes them for you.
Really? Enid, you're a quest saver.
Yeah, I always thought it was weird that she had... I don't know if you noticed on her design... I can't zoom in on this. I don't think I can put that here, can I? Yeah, I don't have a Powie Zowie on this one yet, so... I have to level her up before I can unlock this card and actually use it in combat. I always thought it was weird if you... I'll see if we can zoom in on that. You can kind of see how her hairline makes a perfect vertex with her bangs on the back side of her head. So it's kind of, like I said, kind of weird design there. Very geometric. I always thought that was kind of interesting. Sort of perfect symmetry on her face, which is kind of weird. Like I said, some of the stylistic decisions I'm not really wild about, but I can appreciate some of them. Academically, anyway. Okay, I see what's going on here. People are gonna be a waste of time. Can't go this way. I gotta go back. I gotta go back around. We gotta go around the van. So where do I get my looping videos on the internet? Get the GIF camera from... Oh, iFrame's next door, I think. Yeah, iFrame's supposed to be next door. Over there it is. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, Daryl's definitely one of the evil robots.
Yeah.
K.O. K.O.
Okay. That was a somewhat amusing exchange. That served a purpose. Can I punch this guy? Nah. No quest. Oh well, so that served no purpose.
Hey, kiddo.
Yeah, that served no purpose. You people are worthless. So I can't do that, so how do I unlock this bit? I mean, there aren't many places I can go, I mean, let's be honest. Okay, so now I can go in. Okay, so I can beat him up.
Daryl,
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
are you satisfied with your plaza shopping experience?
Yeah, there's a lot of variety and smart pricing. I mean, no, the plaza stinks.
That's because we haven't taken out the trash. It's trash day. Not on my watch, Foxmore.
See, another fight. Okay, so we'll probably get to see at least two more fights in this video before it ends. Yeah, pacing's not really my thing. I might have to start skipping stories to see if I can improve the pacing a lot more. But this probably isn't going to do it. Okay, let's get creative here. Launch them. Kick them in the air. Can I launch them in the air? Can I launch them while they're airborne? I'm not sure. That out. Remember you can crouch roll. Ah. He's blocking. That's a wrinkle. I wasn't expecting. Ow! That combo on me. Ah! Got a nice long chain going at least. Yeah, I can't launch him while he's in the air already. Ah, ow, ow. My special attack. Okay, so basically you stay in the air and just shoot him. But the angle's a bit weird. This guy's only half dead, so I have to keep that in mind. So 4 punches maybe, then a launcher. Whoops. He hit there. Still blocking. There we go. Ow, ow! Can I get behind him? Maybe not. Ow! He's almost dead. I think he is dead. No, he's not dead yet. Now he's dead. Okay. Like I said, this combat is particularly strategic. Yep. Beat people up, collect loot.
Yes.
It's like Grand Theft Auto, only more wholesome, I guess.
K.O. K.O. K.O.
Welcome. The idle animations on these characters are kind of interesting, but they only have 2 special idle animations, I want to say. At least so far. So yeah, this game might be okay. I might have to start skipping cutscenes though. We'll see how it goes, because I'm curious how the pacing works. Let's go back to Enid. The bomb. Okay, we'll ignore broccoli guy.
You get that gift camera?
Do you see that? See her hairline, where her hairline ends on the front of her face, and where the hairline begins on the opposite side of her face? It's like a perfect vertex. It's kind of weird. It's like the line continues from her hairline, from her forehead to the side of her head, so it's kind of interesting. But it's interesting and like it's just something I noticed. A little light touch.
I'm going to let this goober
It's
hit
to me,
so I
it's
fall
like
down.
seeing an arrow in the
Then I'm
FedEx
going to
sign. It's the
escort
same
him
principle.
out of the bodega, and out of the plaza, and out of the universe. You can do this, K.O.
The other combat section, huh? So after about 10-15 minutes of nothing, we finally got a bunch of combat all in a row, I guess. Another one, huh? Wait, I didn't move. That was weird. For some reason I didn't move that time. I don't even know how much damage I'm doing with all this stuff. Your punches don't do that much damage. I don't think there's a single move that does that much damage, honestly. And it's kind of hard to tell when your Powie Zowie is charged up, too. Which is kind of weird. I think it might be charged up now. No, not yet. See, again, it's kind of hard to tell, because I'm looking at it now and I can press Y. It might have been too late. Yeah, I was too late. That was a waste. Beat him anyway.
Okay, got the gift. You okay, little buddy?
I'll be better
Yeah, thanks
when
for
I
helping.
get this gift to Dendy. Do I touch the camera to a computer?
I framed as custom gift framing.
What would I do without you, Enid?
So your voice is kind of whatever, but she's helpful. So yeah, sneezing animation is okay. So again, I'm kind of looking for water in the desert here. There's really not much to this game. But I do like the light touches, I guess. So I see I can be constructive in my criticism. I can be, you know, I don't have to be snarky all the time. It's a bit of a load time every time you do that. Every time you have to hit the start button to go to this screen. I have to go back to iframe. Pretty sure there's a free application on a phone that does this automatically for you, but hey, why do that? We can just go here, support the local economy, I guess.
K.O.
I'm sure it's hilarious. Come on, Raven, you know how hilarious. Come on, Dindy, you know how hilarious. Speaking of random CN network references.
Hello, K.O. I was beginning to think you were not going to complete this very simple task. That, or you were deceased.
Deceased? No way. Mommy makes sure I'm up to date on all my shots. Here's your gift.
Yeah, I get the malaprops.
Ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. LOL, K.O. Good gift.
And now, Howie Zowie!
So it's like Steven Universe in that your relation, all the social RPG elements allow you to get cards you can use in combat, I guess.
Yeah.
But the social RPG elements are all about just completing quests, and the quests seem to be pretty linear so far. I mean, you complete one quest, then you do the other, then you unlock a new quest, and no one else seems to be giving me any other quests. It's not like Skyrim where you can just hoard like 24 quests and not complete any of them. Just seems like you're just doing one quest and completing all the sub quests needed. You're completing all the tasks needed to complete that one quest. Then you just move on to the next quest in the progression loop, I guess. So really, the game's pretty linear so far. You can't really get lost in it. You can't forget to do a quest. There are no timed quests. Again, talking to people doesn't really get you anything unless they're a quest giver, so that's kind of disappointing. How much money do I have? The game doesn't tell me how much money I have, so I guess I have to actually go to this. I think I have to actually go to that vending machine to see how much money I have. I see someone fixing the wall. The Enid's supposed to be over here, right? Not here. Nothing going. Wait, what's that back there? Yes, Mr. Gar. Seems to be everywhere. This might be the back way.
Dude.
Yeah, he's sleeping on the job. You know it is. You can't go out this way. Yeah, can't go out this way. I have to go back the way I came, I guess. That's fine, I suppose. There'll be more quest givers here later in the game, I'm certain. That would be a waste of space otherwise. Pal cards. How much money I got? See, I only got 6. I didn't earn any coins from that last fight. No, I didn't. So you can see by now, these people don't have much to say. Unless they're quest givers, they don't have a whole lot to say. Well, that's unfortunate. Insert content here. Like I said, nice and easy animation.
Oh, hey, K.O. Guess what happened again?
Mr. Gar punched a hole in the ceiling?
Nope, not that.
Brad was abducted by a gang from his home planet?
Nah, that hasn't happened in a while.
Oh, I know. Baby Teeth ate a case of Rainbow Crunch cereal and is loose in the plaza?
Bingo. That little dino is an escape artist with a taste for sugary cereal. Can you track her down? Gar asked me to do it, but I figure you could pretend you're on an epic quest and make a day of it.
Oh yeah, this is where the game allows you to give the kind of response you want, like a goofy response, a normal response, and I guess a tough response, like a heroic response. The game doesn't really tell you what any of these icons mean, so I just randomly pick. I've never chosen the funny one yet, so. Again, the game didn't come with a manual, so I don't know what any of these icons means.
Consider the dino found, Nid.
Did you just shorten my name to Nid?
No. A bug flew in my mouth when I was saying the E. I will do Enid's work for her.
Okay, so I guess the game's been saved. So I guess we'll do that quest later. I don't think I can make any more. I don't think I have anything else to really say about this game at this point. Right. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to really add here. So, I don't think I'm going to revisit this. It's been playing this for an hour, including the 40... Actually, I've been playing this for more than an hour if you include the 40 minutes I spent doing this video. Nah. I mean, I got a bunch of SNK games I gotta play. So I don't think I can be bothered. Yep, nothing going on here. Yep, that doesn't do anything. Yeah, not gonna help me out, are you, old lady? Can't punch the bag. Nothing going over here with the big serpents. Nothing else to report here, huh? Nope, nothing to report.
Hey, kiddo.
Yep, nothing. Okay, so we're done. So in conclusion, whatever. Not interested, really.